Hey, it's Jeff Nelson with IXL Real Estate Eastern Shore. So are you moving to Daphne, Alabama or thinking about it? Well, we're going to explore a little bit today of the cost of living, what it takes to live here, to actually live here. So let's take a deep dive, see how affordable it is, and see how it stacks up to the rest of the U.S. Okay, before I get into the nitty-gritty of it all, the overall cost index, Daphne's overall cost of living index sits around 94.5, meaning it's about 5.5% less expensive than the U.S. average and approximately 12% lower than the Alabama average. All right, so if you're moving to Daphne, you got to live somewhere, right? So let's talk about the housing cost. I'm going to break it down for the averages for buying as well as renting. Now, I don't get into renting. I don't do any property management. I only work in sales, but I do want to give you figures for both. So here's where things get a little interesting. A typical home in Daphne costs roughly $314,900, which is 6.9% less than the national median of $338,100. Yet above 47% higher than the Alabama state average. Rent-wise, a two-bedroom unit runs about $1,340 per month, making it 6.3% cheaper than the national average, though still nearly 30% above the state average. All right, let's talk about monthly living expense. This is what I found out. For a family of four, estimates suggest living costs in Daphne hover around $5,040 a month, or $60,480 a year. That is 6.7% below the national average. For single individuals, the figure is about $3,433 per month, which is 28% less than what the average American spends. All right, digging a little bit deeper into other major costs that involve groceries, housing, transportation, and healthcare. Daphne tends to be about 2% less expensive than the U.S. overall, and grocery prices are around 3.2% lower than the U.S. norms. Sales and income taxes are lower in Alabama, helping ease those daily expenses as well. Let's talk about income and affordability. I really don't see a whole lot of people struggling. I mean, a lot of hardworking people down here. There's plenty of jobs. There doesn't seem to be a big unemployment issue. The median household income in Daphne is roughly $86,438, which positions many residents comfortably above the cost of living lines. I know this isn't the most exciting of videos to watch, but if you are moving here, a lot of, you want to know what it costs to live here. So let's just kind of round it up and summarize it with some final thoughts here. Let's look at the pros and cons. So the pros: lower the national living cost, affordable rent compared to many U.S. cities, median income above regional norms, and lower taxes on sales and income. A couple of the cons: housing prices are above state average and some categories slightly above the national baseline. So people are moving here all the time. They're figuring out that our little wonderful area of the world in Lower Alabama is a great place to retire to. That's mainly who I talk to, are people who are retiring. Just so happens those are the people watching my videos and going to my website. But we do have people moving here also for work, and a lot of people move here just because they visited and they love the area. So I moved here in 2012 and from Virginia Beach, and I absolutely love it here. So anyway, if you are thinking about Daphne, you want to dig into it a little bit more, learn about the housing, that's my specialty as a realtor. So give me a call. Here's all my information. I'd love to talk with you.